Alrighty, everyone. Hi, I'm Oz, and welcome back to Ostranauts. It's been a while. I haven't been feeling well since I had my minor procedure the other day, but I am feeling a lot better now, and we are back. Feel free to like and subscribe, and we're going to see about going and taking Captain Adam Walsh on a little adventure. Now, we are going to need some fuel, and we're going to need some money to pay off some of our debts. And what else was there? I want to say our salvage pass just expired, so if we want another one, or if we want to play a little bit of trickery and deceit, we can go and we can mess around with that without having to go and follow the rules. But that could get us into a little bit of a tango with the local port security. And if that happens, well, things might not end the best for us. So, let's first off take care of Mr. Walsh and his needs. We're kind of hungry, so let's go to the Xinhua cart and let's get us some breakfast first off. We aren't going to send to the barter zone. Let's just get some chili vinegar fish balls. Not enough space. Okay. Let's do a little bit of reorganizing first, I guess. Because admittedly, our inventory is kind of full of crap. So I want to keep the smart crates as the outermost layer of our inventory, because that just makes sense. So let's drop all of this building material into the Compart Red backpack, or the Blackwing Compart. Let's see, drop the electronic parts in there. Let's look at our loyalty bag. Let's move this scrap aluminum over. And I guess we'll keep the EVA suit gear in the other one. So that way we can just try and, keep things a little nice and tidy, and we can keep an eye on what we have on hand. Now, I don't know if the other people in the station will grab our stuff if we put it in here. So let's bring Captain Walsh. Or can I click? Yes, there we go. We'll bring him up here, and let's open up this battery charger. And let's see. We'll put our EVA suit batteries in here for now, so that way we can get these charged up. So that way we don't have to worry about it once we're out and about. There we go. That's where the other battery component is. So those will all charge up while we're out and about, exploring the station and just setting things up in general. We can set up something back in our ship to deal with the O2 canisters eventually. For right now, we aren't going to worry about it too much. So let's head to the kiosk. Let's buy some fuel, because as long as we have fuel and we pay... Oh, goodness. We don't have that much money. Let's see. We'll get us a half kiloton, I guess. 1,000 kilograms of nitrogen fuel. Goodness, I forgot to set up the storage sections again. So we're just going to go through, we're going to do a little bit of tidying before we set this guy off to just kind of do whatever he needs to for a minute. Because ultimately, to take care of our ship and to take care of Mr. Adam Walsh. Because as you can see, he's got his own hopes, dreams, needs, wants, all that kind of jazz. And while we're at it, we're going to select this door. We're going to factory reset it, because I don't remember if I ever did. And we're going to change the password on this, and we're going to lock it. Now, the password that we're going to set is going to be a flat 000, because I'm lazy. I don't want to remember things. And if I make every password 000, then we're all good. Now I don't have to worry about good old Adam accidentally spacing himself and the entire station. Alright, I'll be right back after we get some of these batteries and stuff all repaired up, and then we'll see about getting them installed as well. Hey everyone, Oz here, and welcome back. So, for you, it's been less than a second, hopefully with any half-decent editing skills. For me, it has been almost a full 20 hours since I recorded this gameplay. Now. I know what you're going to say. You said you were just going to repair the ship. Well, about that. Turns out I might have lied, and I might have let a little bit of my OCD just kind of shine through for a moment, and I decided if we're going to go out and we're going to start salvaging from ships properly around OK Leg to get us some money to improve our ship even more, well, I might as well get everything about the ship all nice and tidy. So, nice, bright and early, start of my day, I'm going to walk you through some of the stuff that we did. First off, as you can see, we are no longer cluttered around this ship. Everything is nice, it is neat, it is organized, it is actually set up in a way where we can access everything. The only walled off section in the center is our antenna. We have a bathroom over here, so that way Mr. Walsh can keep himself feeling nice, fresh, and fine. And we now have an airlock that leads to the outdoors in case we want to work on the outside of our ship. Now, this will come in handy later when we are tearing other ships apart, but we are not quite there yet. The other things that we do need to pay attention to are, let's see, we have to make sure that we get some atmospheric nitrogen in at some point, but for the most part, I think we're going to be fine with just getting that from here at OK Leg. So, we won't worry about that today. But for now, let's just walk you through some of the changes. So our infirmary bed, the place where Mr. Walsh is going to sleep, is now nice, neat, and fully fixed up and repaired, so that way we can actually use it. Walk you through, show you off the bathroom. We have our toilet, we have our sink, and we have an extra wall. Oh, we'll take that out real quick. Might as well save us some time and some space, because every single spot of space on this ship matters when it comes down to it. We can't just be, having willy-nilly open space concepts not being used. So let's see. And if I remember correctly, for the CO2 scrubber, we have to install the can there. So now our CO2 scrubber is all set up. Let's see, CO2 alarm is all hooked up. So now that will automatically process any carbon dioxide out of the air. So let's hook up. Yep, you're already hooked up to the oxygen sensor. Let's just double check and make sure that's the right one. Ooh, nope. O2 alarm, right? Yeah, sure. And then I think all we have to do is hook up the cooler and the thermostat, and then we should be pretty darn ready to go. I just had to take some stuff out so that way I could get our intakes all set up. Because without those set up, our thrusters on the back and sides and front of the ship would be absolutely just god-awful useless. So we'll do that real quick. And we'll just kind of auto-task out some of the remaining little... Let's see. So we'll hit that. Adam, why are you drinking rice wine? No. You know what? No. We are not getting absolutely blackout drunk. I just saw someone else do that in this station. Not today. No. Yeah, no. We do not allow that. Sorry, Adam. Gotta stay sober. If I have to, you have to. Let's see. Let's take a look, see if we're actually drunk. No? We're fine. Okay. There we go. Now, we'll just auto-task out the last of the installations. We don't have too much left to do. So, we'll be right back in one moment. And I promise this time, we aren't going very far. And there we go. So, now that the intake regulator is installed, we'll go over some of the other stuff that we did. So, we moved around our nav station. And let's just turn that down just a little bit. There we go. So we moved around our nav station. We moved around our battery chargers. So now we have all of our power for our welders up here in this corner. We have for our drill and soldering iron down over here. And now for our new laser torch right here. This thing is amazing. You can't usually find this for pretty cheap, but I managed to find it on discount in the black market while I was going and fixing our ship up. So I decided, well, we might as well treat ourselves because I've never actually gotten to have one of these before in the game. So this is essentially the perfect tool for going and disassembling ships. So we're going to need that and a few other things, which we will get set up inside of a toolbox for ourselves. And then we'll be right back. Then we're going to head out, grab ourselves a salvage pass, and we're going to start tearing apart some ships. So let's see if we can't figure out where. Here, let's pick up the toothbrush. Why don't we just dump that right in front of the toilet, because you know we are as unhygienic as it gets in space. Might as well. It's gonna be in one of these crates here somewhere. So let's see. Let's dump the hygiene packs on the floor because we're going to need those soon. We can always put a few more lights on the walls, and I think I'm gonna do that real quick. That's pretty fast. And let's set it to green, because I like the green light. Well, actually, no, we'll go with blue. Blue's a bit of a nicer color. Let's see, you were the one with the lights. So let's install one right there. Orange, no, not a fan. The orange lights don't look good to me. They're good for the outside of your ship, just not the inside of your ship. There we go. Grab another light. We'll just slap that right over the battery charger. And I guess we could probably use one right around in this area as well. You know what? It would probably help. Let's turn the power visibility on. Yeah, we're gonna need some more conduit. So we'll go into our install menu, we'll select the conduit, and we'll drag that out 2 spaces. And now eventually when we're dismantling a ship, we're gonna end up picking up some more conduit, and we'll be able to go and take care of that then. Now, before we get going and grabbing... Here we are, the transponder. So this thing is dreadfully important. And we're going to stick it in the one place that we are never going to modify. We are going to stick this right in the bathroom. Because it's the one place that I'm actually like happy with what I've done on the ship. I don't plan on changing this. And you cannot move this stupid little box. And this stupid little box costs about $23,200 to buy. And when I say I spent 14 hours getting this ship fixed up, everything moved, and everything repaired, accidentally breaking the transponder, and then earning money for the transponder, and then earning money for the day and a half of fees that I accidentally accrued up because I also accidentally got caught hacking something and got sent to the brig. This thing has been the biggest pain in my butt that I have had to deal with, and I am never, ever, 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 ever touching it again. It goes there, it stays there, we do not look at it, we do not think about it, we do not touch it. As far as we are concerned, it is the Mona Lisa. It stays behind the glass at all times, and nobody so much as sneezes at it. Now let's see, what else do we got in the crates? We just got some orange lights. We'll slap those to the outside of the ship at some point. Oh, yeah, this smart crate and toolbox in hand, those are completely new. Some guy passed out in the middle of Okele drunk, which is why we had the rice wine on us. And I may or may not have just picked up his stuff and walked off with it. So, you know, funny things happen sometimes. So we're going to pick up our 2 smart crates that we've kind of carried with us this whole time. Oh, hey, look. There's our toolbox. So this is going to be our batteries and bullets. And this one, we're going to put our angle grinder. Well, we'll rotate it first off. Then we'll put that in there. Then we'll put that in there. There we go. So now we have a drill, we have a hacksaw, we have a crowbar, we have our brand new beautiful laser torch, we have our angle grinder. I think that might be the setup for tools. So our first bag is going to be, you know, our air suit, everything that has to do with that. The compart bag, this is going to be our generalized looting bag. This bag right here, guess, is also more generalized loot. It's just nice to have the tote bags and to use those to pick up things in this game, because there's just an unlimited amount of small things that you need to pick up and carry. And as you can tell, the inventory starts to get a little bit overwhelming at times. So let's double check. So you're full, so I probably have, let's see, so that's 100, 200, so I probably have somewhere around 250% value for oxygen on me. That should do us for any basic salvage mission, which I think we're going to start doing here. So let's head up and in, slow things down a bit. We'll double check at the fuel kiosk because we have to make sure that we have enough fuel, we have to make sure that we have enough power. So our nitrogen RCS thrusters, 1.17 or $1.17 for what, 0.29? Oh, we'll take it. We don't need the fuel liner. We paid our air exchange. We'll top up on power. Oh, you know what? We should get some more life support installed for the oxygen. Let's see. Double check this can. What do you got? 472 kilos. We'll also install this one, I guess, and we'll see if it gets recognized by those, by the fuel depot. Because I absolutely want to make sure that we are completely set for the rest of all time. There we go. Now we can get some oxygen. And eventually we'll have to get the, atmospheric nitrogen as well. We'll have to get that all balanced out, which, you know, it'll happen at some point. But for now, let's buy ourselves a nice brand new spiffy 24-hour license. As of 9:15 a.m. Universal Time Code 2079-829, we are good to go. Oop, wrong thing. Let's use our nav station. RCS is full. Power reserve is not bad. 675 kilowatts. Dock info, request clearance, undocking clearance. We are approved. Let's slow that down to 1 so that way we're not absolutely blasting through fuel. And there we go. We are now undocked and on our way. So now that we've kind of stripped out a freighter and made it into parts for this ship, we're going to go and we're going to actually start ripping apart other ships for the things that are actually worth money. So first we have to separate out from OK Leg just to make sure that we aren't crashing into it, because this place is massive. Apparently we need a few more thrusters. So let's turn up the game speed, I guess. Try and break free of the gravity well of Ganymede. I mean, what's going on? We had enough thrust before. Well, we'll figure it out when we get there. We probably need more than 3 thrusters, though. That's for certain. There we go. I'm guessing we just fell below into the gravity well of Ganymede there, which can be an absolute death sentence, especially if you're moving anywhere at speed. Because, well, as in most games where gravity is a thing, gravity is very unforgiving here. So it'll take us 2 minutes to get to our current target. We are on set for bearing. There we go. We're just going to pop in, and this time we aren't going to do a full teardown of the ship. We're just going to strip as much out of it as we can, as quick as we can, and move on to the next one, because that's it. We're done. We're salvaging now. So slow down to about 150, I guess. Try to make this a little bit faster. Left. Ease up on the throttle just a little bit. Okay, so that takes us down to under 100 meters per second, and now within a range of 5 kilometers. So, tag the ship. The ship says we are not responsive. So let's initiate an unguided docking. Let's just speed this up just a smidge. Oh, come on now. Oh, we docked. Really? Oh, fantastic. So we'll pop our helmet on. Apparently it is super dark. Or, yep, no, I broke my EVA suit. So we're gonna have to stop and we're gonna have to repair that real quick. Oh, thank goodness I had a spare motherboard lying around. So if our EVA suit is broken, we can't breathe in space. If we can't breathe in space, we die in space. And that is the last thing that we want to be doing. Alright. We'll just speed that up real quick. You know, speaking of invading new ships, where did I leave my handgun? Because, as always, I am an American, and what is the American solution? Bring a gun. Because we don't know who, what, when, or where, or why is on this ship. And I have very, very little doubts that they will be friendly. So we're going to put that in our smart crate. And we'll be right back after we get this suit repaired up. There we go. Now that our suit is repaired up, we are ready to start exploring the new salvage. So, let's get out there. So, let's see. Empty crate, I'll take a bat, and I will definitely take some loose conduit. Because we always need more conduit. Always, always, always. I don't care what time of day it is, we're always going to have something that's going to need that crap. Door is broken, so let's just scrap it. Because right now, we don't care anymore. We have enough doors on our ship. Granted, I'd like a few more at some point, but that can wait for some off-camera shenanigans, where you guys don't have to watch. That'll probably be another pretty darn long day, but, you know, that's alright. So let's read this about work safety. So, CO2 levels must not exceed 1 kilopascal. O2 levels must be above 20 kilopascal at all times. You are entitled to a comfortable work environment. Airtight cabins must be between 290 and 300 Kelvin at all times. Which is a weird... You know what? I'm gonna look that up real quick. Let's see. Google. Type in Kelvin to Fahrenheit. Because that's the only thing that I know, and honestly, Fahrenheit is human temperatures. You know, Fahrenheit is what you use for deciding what's comfortable and what's not, because 100 is very uncomfortable in Fahrenheit. 100 in Celsius, you're already dead. Makes sense? So, 290 Kelvin, the lowest they're saying that it can be is 62 degrees. So that's a little bit chilly, you might need a jumper, but it's not too bad. To 300, which is about 80 degrees, which is about what it is right now. It's peak summer. You know, it's a little hot, little muggy, little humid. Not the best time. You need a fan, you need some air conditioning, some cold water, iced tea, lemonade. You are entitled to a break. Work schedules for employees within a pressure or EVA suit must include regular trips back to a fully pressurized cabin, where the environment within the suits can be recycled. The regulations stipulate that O2 levels within the suit system remain above 20 kilopascals, CO2 below 1 kilopascal. So we can't really see it on our suit, but we can see our O2 stock. That's what we have to pay attention to. You're entitled to coworker compliance. Yada yada. You're entitled to this information. And HSO's register, every contract honored, every debt recovered. Yeah, I imagine you scumbags. Okay, so let's restore this battery up real quick, because we might as well do it while it's already pre-installed. We're going to take this and we're going to slap it into our array probably right over here, because we always need more power and it's free. I mean, or we could sell it, which is probably the responsible thing to do, because batteries sell for a half decent amount of money. But I still want to fix it up first either way. Let's see, its ship is called Polaris. That's weird, I haven't seen a nav console for this thing. Well, actually... So wait, where is your nav console, buddy? Salivating magpie, it's a gas tug. Canisters. Well, you know what? We'll uninstall these cans, and I guess we'll take them with us. Toggle the power. We'll hit the orders app. We're gonna leave the walls, the floor. Yeah. Let's just uninstall everything that we can here. So now this is going to uninstall all canisters, all conduit that we can reach. We aren't gonna take any walls or anything like that. If I want walls, I'll do that off camera so that way you guys don't have to sit here and watch. Plus, you know, like I said before, any sort of serious there we go, get him on the auto task. Any sort of like serious actual work involving building and repairing a ship takes absolutely forever. Goodness, it blows my mind that I spent an entire day from about 7 in the morning to about 11 at night. God, no, that would be a lot longer. That would be 16 hours. Goodness, how did I spend 16 hours fixing up a ship and running errands all day just that way I could fix up the ship more? Oh my goodness. Well, we are not going to make that mistake again. From here on out, every single task that we are going to do for this is going to be nice and simple and small. Nothing crazy, nothing extravagant, no overdrive. We're just going to go and build things out as they happen. I might see about taking some of the floor here, especially because we now have that Weber laser cutter. but I'm not 100% certain on it. Now, this message right here, Adam feels drowsy as if they've been awake for 24 hours. That means we need to take about a 4 or 5 hour nap, if I remember correctly. Let's see, let's head to the orders. Queue up the transponder for dismantle. Transponders are absolutely worthless. You will never get any money out of them. It is hard-coded into the game because of actual lore in the game that the AO Security or AO Industries, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm not going to mess it up any more than I would, they made it next to impossible to uninstall and then reinstall the transponders just because, well, security, you know? Gotta keep your racket safe, after all. Alrighty. So, we already set up the zone earlier. So now we're just gonna tag every single thing in here that is loose on the floor for hauling. And then we're gonna come back in, we're gonna double check and make sure that we didn't miss anything that we want. Because I know for a fact I have definitely missed some stuff that I am going to want out of this ship, like this pump and can set right there. Well, looks like we're gonna have to go outside the ship to get some stuff. So I'll show you how we're gonna do that without going and risking our precious oxygen supply. You're gonna kind of laugh at how we're gonna end up doing this, but I think it's pretty genius. And it's actually going to involve the installation of this turbo pump. Ooh, moving a little faster, bud. Okay, so let's pick up, let's walk in here, we'll open up the inventory. Let's just shuffle some of this stuff out of the way for now. We'll have to organize it later. So if we take the turbo pump and we place it like so, it is now set to suck from this room into the main room. And we'll deal with that then. Back to auto tasks, so that way we can haul everything over. And I'll turn this into a short little time lapse and try to intersperse them throughout the episodes now. Especially with the fact that I've managed to find the YouTube audio library, you're going to start seeing a little bit of a higher quality, I'm hoping. Or at the very least, a little bit more effort put in. Quick, we're gonna pick up our dolly and we're just gonna bring this over here. We're just gonna dump some of this stuff out real quick. I think we already have something that qualifies for a soldering device, but this should help us with picking up most everything on the floor in here. So let's see, we don't want any walls, but we'll take the light, conduit, canister pumps, switches, canisters, more conduit, electronics. Okay, so if we open up one of our grab bags, we're going to start placing all the conduit and the switches in there because they're lightweight, they're small objects, they can fit in there. Let's see, nitrogen can go there. And what is that? That is some loose flooring. And there we go. Nice full stacks everywhere. Ostranauts. Now we take this. Shuffle that crap around. Place that right there. This door is now closed. Yeah, we're gonna keep that turbo pump off for now. That will be our emergency oxygen. This one we'll set to high speed, and we'll access the lock. Hack the pin code real quick. 4456, we'll have to remember that. There we go. Now we have our factory reset door. Okay, why are you not opening, buddy? There we go. And now, we can open up that inventory once again, and we can just start picking up all of the scrap that ended up on the outside of the ship. Because motherboards are expensive. And conduit, while cheap, well, nothing cheap has ever been turned down by a frugal man, now has it? Let's see, open up our extra backpack. And there we go. Now, we'll set him to auto task, see how he gets about. We'll uninstall more conduit, I guess. Pick that up. Put it in there. Ooh, here we go. We're gonna get some more, and I really want that blue light because, I don't know, I like the shade of blue that they use for the lights in this game, I guess. It looks good. We'll trade you out for some more conduit. What a fun thing to just kind of say over and over and over again for 14 hours a day, you know? Yeah, we'll pick up some mechanical parts as well. Now we can pop back in, and we can close the door. We'll access the lock, and lock the door, because if you're in space, you always lock your doors. Now we will factory reset this real quick. Once it's factory reset, we're going to set it to our default door code of 0000, because it's just easier that way. It saves us time and effort. We don't have to worry so much. All this crap in it for now. We'll sort this out at some point when I actually care enough to try. And I forgot that we were in a little teensy bit of a vacuum there. So that was almost bad. Let's see. So here you can see the player finances, and you can see exactly how many gigs I did to make sure. Gross income of 82,000 credits to pay off mortgage, to pay off late payments, to get a bunch of facility feeds and some trades and a little bit of public chicanery wiped off, along with our delightful ship transfer. Our net profit for the ship was $13,000, which isn't too bad, but, well, we've only left with $380 at the end of everything, so I don't think we're doing too good. So now we hop into our nav station. We've explored the crap out of that ship. There is nothing left here for us. So transponder appears to be in good order. Thank you, patrol. Now leave me the hell alone. I absolutely do not like the OK Leg security forces. They are as corrupt as they come. and you cannot, for the life of you, trust them. Absolutely not. You would have a better time trusting a wolf with your sheep. So, we're gonna go and we're gonna navigate around this ship so we can actually see the shape of the ship. Okay, so yeah, we did hit everything then. And we took everything worth taking from it too. But as you can see, we have our cube, and the cube must grow. And it shall keep growing. We're going to keep on expanding our ship out and adding in new features. We do have, I want to say, and I'll show you whenever we get back to OK Leg, because you're probably wondering where all the reactor parts went. We have about, I want to say, a soft 80% give or take of a reactor. However, 80% of a reactor is only 80% of a reactor. That is not enough reactor for us to be reacting things and generating power. Plus, if we were to set it up as it is, without any of the deuterium oxide or stabilization right now, it would overheat the crap out of our ship and probably blow us the absolute fuck up. So, let's just go and head to our new ship, and we'll see if we can't find any food or stuff like that here. So let's see. So we're getting within range. We're gonna hail the ship. Let's. Oh, no. Let's turn down the thruster just a little bit. Just a lot, I guess. Wow, I do not know why it is so bouncy today. Goodness. Oh, you know what? Being at 4 times speed would probably do it. So there we go, 30 seconds until we make contact. Left, move a little right, do a little shimmy, and everything is going to be just alright. So we are now parked at the Trying It On for Size. We know nothing about this ship, so let's see. We'll drop the screwdriver because we have a power drill. We'll move our handgun up there. And I guess if we drop this for now, want to say it was this crate here was empty. Perfect. If we hit, let's see, because our guy is just a little bit hungry and a little bit dirty, so we'll just freshen up real quick, because you know, you might as well take your time and enjoy some of life's little pleasures, like a cold wet wipe in the deepest space. So there we go, we are now all cleaned up, and I guess we don't have any food on us. And I think we dropped the wrong smart crate. So we want this one, not that one. And we want this bag because that contains our batteries. Double check the inventory on that. Salvage pass we'll keep in a top layer. Right there, right by our chair, so that way we know where it is, we don't have to worry about losing it. because if we lose that, then we have no way of proving to those OK Lake dirtbags that we are an actual certifiable salvager. So, we found a dead body. Probably. Yep, they are dead. Cool. So, let's see what we can find in this ship then. Take a peek around, rifle through their pockets, you know, all the usual stuff. Damaged outdoor, let's scrap our way right through it. Ho ho ho, look at that. We found ourselves another reactor setup. Let's see, let's check this rack real quick. Battery? Cool, we'll take it. Alright, so we'll uninstall this battery. I'm gonna be a little bit more picky and choosy about the stuff that we take this time. Our ship is a little on the slow side, and some of the stuff is going to slow us down even more. So let's see what's in the crate. Emergency jumper cabling. Well, we'll dump it off for now, so that way we don't have to worry about that. Let's take out this turbo pump. Turbo pumps are worth, as you can see, a considerable amount of money. So we'll uninstall just as much as we can across the board because we want to make sure that this stuff gets uninstalled now. For reactors, one of the things I do know from reading like the wiki and going through like the Discord servers, stuff like that, you want to make sure that these things are absolutely shut off before you start messing with them, because these things will rock your world, and not in the fun way on a Friday night, I'll tell you what. So let's see, so now we can uninstall the reactor core. There's some MHD generators, there's a pellet feeder. I want to say we can have multiple of these installed on a generator along with multiple pellet feeders for better reaction time. So this entire set of reactor components, we are probably not going to keep. What we are going to do is pick them up, load them onto the ship, and we're going to sell them the crap off because we need money and we need it fast. We owe $300,000 on our ship, give or take, and I just incurred an extra $15,000 debt by accidentally breaking a law here or there on OK Lake and getting us in just a smidge of trouble. It's not my fault, you know. The door was locked and I wanted it not locked. I want to uninstall this thruster. Because we need more thrusters on our ship. So actually, that's in really good condition. So we're gonna go. Let's head back to our ship real quick, and we are going to pick up that dolly. So that way we can start carting some of this crap over here. Oh crap, that's right. We are already loaded up with a bunch of air pumps and crap. Well, looks like the space in the bathroom's gonna have to do. There we go. A little bit of a free inventory. And now let's head back into our little soiree and go get some hors d'oeuvres. Shh, don't tell anyone I'm loading up on all the shrimp. I'm a bit of a fan. So there we go. We got our RCS thrusters, and I want to say these are too big. We have to drag those by hand. Oh, that's a right shame. Let's see. What's in this bin? A plastic toolbox that contains nothing. Drink pouch. You got anything? Rice wine. Yeah, jettison that right into space. We are not allowing any alcohol near our guy. Because I don't have time, you don't have time, nobody has the time to deal with their spaceman getting absolutely sloshed when we have no money, no way to take care of ourselves, and no extra crew members. So let's see, what is, that is just a regular air pump, we'll take that out as well. Let's see. So that'll get us another $2 grand, that's not bad. But we're gonna need a lot of money. So what's over in this one? A lot more nitrogen, that's a turbo pump, and I guess we'll take some nitrogen with this. Alright, let's haul it. Just gonna start dumping stuff wherever it fits for right now. There we go. There's that. Now let's get these RCS thrusters installed so that way maybe we can actually fly with some real speed. Not worry about the gravity well around okay, like in case we fall into and get trapped in that. Install. Not bad, 5 thrusters. Now we're just going to have to be careful how much fuel that we're using. I don't know what the ratio of intakes to thrusters is, but I have a feeling that we are very, very quickly approaching the limits of that equation. So we'll just get this repaired up real quick because we need all the thrust we can get. Now, admittedly, I am a little bit sad on losing out on the 10 grand that we could have gotten for that delightful set of thrusters. However, I much prefer the ability to actually fly. Now, we're going to start using those smart crates to organize some of this scrap and crap that's on the floor in our ship. Battery, we'll pick that up. Where was that? So I want to say it was just around this corner here. Yep, a bunch of nitrogen cans and oxygen cans. So we'll go to orders, and we'll just hit uninstall. And hit auto task. We trenchers, drink water. Now, admittedly, I've heard some things that supposedly, you might not want to eat the trenchers, but, well, that's a problem for future Adam to worry about. So let's see, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks. We're going to want to get these intakes. Actually, you know what? We'll hold off on the intakes because compared to everything else, those are considerably lower value. I mean, even a fully repaired. Here, let's zoom into our ship for a second. So if we look at our intake, it's only worth about $1.5 grand. That's bloody peanuts right now. That's not what we need, especially when a turbo pump goes for almost $4,000 to $5,000, give or take. So let's see, a pillbox for anti-nausea medication. We'll have to pick that up at some point. Oh, look, a bin. Pry the door open. Look, another turbo pump, see? This is why it pays to walk around. So they had an airlock, give or take, right about there in their ship. So my idea of building out our own airlock wasn't exactly a mad plan. Actually, if I rotate that like that, we can put that right there. And then we can start placing cans. Now, admittedly, we're going to use the battery alley, as I like to call it, as some of our storage space here. Just that way we don't have to worry so much about clogging up the larger portions of the room where we can store all those reactor parts at. Go, there's that turbo pump. Yeah, let's just bash the transponder, I guess. And now we're... Well, that's the downside of being hypervolemic and out of shape. Fatally poisoned, and we just ate the food on this ship. Oh. Adam, you bloody dumbass. Alright, well, we hacked into their PDA, so let's use it and let's see what's in their files. It's a little bit hard sometimes to navigate some of the folders in this, so let's check. Peacock pictures. That's anything but. Bard. Oh, hey, it's Shakespeare. Fireflies. What's this about? Oh. Fateful swarm of undefined engineering signals that intervene to prevent a pirate boarding. Huh. Cool. So we'll take all of that. We'll pocket the PDA. Because, I mean, it doesn't sell for much, but they're useful. Another PDA. Well, we'll take that. We'll take your gun. I guess we'll come back for the cigarettes at some point. Those could be useful. You can trade cigarettes with people. To increase their favor with you. Which we will be taking advantage of to get us some... Says, yeah, I'm already coffee. Totally gonna drink that. That'll help keep us up for a little bit. How's our pain levels? And let's go ahead and we'll use a hydrocodone. And there we go. So we're in slight pain, so let's take exactly one more. AO security, or the AO heads got their own branded merch. Well, I won't be wearing it. That's for certain. We can pick up blood. Now let's check the inventory. So we'll put the water in the drink pouch because we could use that. And we'll just start uninstalling. Floor bin. So these are really interesting because they fit right in the floor and they can hold a decent amount of stuff. I think we're gonna uninstall this one and we're gonna reinstall it in our own bathroom. And turns out it's a heavy thing. Great. So we can't even pick that up. Well, we'll still take an O2 can. Another dead body. And another locked PDA. Okay, I'm guessing I really did walk in on a murder mystery this time. Concludes their current investigation, clearing the way. Okay. So now we'll take all the jackets and everything else because, you know, they're dead. They don't need it anymore. And let's go through and let's, and there we go. We have now gone, we have now investigated the dead, and now we know everything that we need to know about the dead. And we got ourselves a free battery while we're at it. Let's take that. Let's see what you keep in your smart crates. That's a cooler, we might come back for that. Pry this one open. Ooh, a short billy club, that's nice. Nothing in there. So now we got ourselves a regular old murder mystery, I guess, kind of on our hands. We have 2 people dead in space. 1 of poison, 1 of blood loss, I believe it said, something like that. So, that means someone stabbed, shot, or at all, someone else. Probably in response to eating the poisoned food or being deliberately poisoned. So I'm going to assume that there was a 3rd crew member on board who deliberately poisoned everyone. Because right now, give or take, that's about the only thing that does make sense. So let's see, how do we want to handle this? Drop this smart crate for now. Come up into the ship. We'll grab, I want to say the empty smart crate was over here. So we're just going to load all of this up into the smart crate. And then we'll store this nice, neat, and out of the way. So now we have another new empty smart crate. We'll use this to pick up the rest of the crap on our floor. Get this all sorted nice, neat, and out of the way. I'll sort it back out off screen when we get back to OK Leg, so that way you guys don't have to sit here and watch through too many time lapses. Now, admittedly, I would be nervous about someone coming back and attempting to murder us as well, if that was the kind of game that this was. But unfortunately, with us stocked at the ship, there's no way that anyone else can park their butt here, so we should be safe, all things considered, to just kind of poke around a little bit as we please. Okay, so what else are we missing? We have the MHD generator and a pellet feeder. So let's bring this back inside. You're going in the airlock there, bud. Bring this back over in. Pick up the pellet feeder. Bring the pellet feeder over. Now remember, unless I already have the parts, or unless I can use the parts for my own reactor, I'm probably going to sell those, so we won't have to worry too much. Pick up the thruster. And you know what? I see the perfect spot. So we'll slot that into the wall. We now have a nice, well, semi-full 6 thruster array. That will get us pretty far through space. Let's see, how much is it for a fixed up cooler, I wonder? $7,000. Well, yeah, we'll take a cooler out as well, I guess. Buddy, calm down. So let's see, is there anything else that's worth uninstalling on the ship? A bunch of batteries. Yeah, we'll queue those up for uninstall as well. There really was nothing else on this ship. Just a murder mystery, of all things. Well, we'll have to think of something snappy for a title for that. Adam, I swear, sometimes you have the brains of a bloody wombat. Okay, let's see. So if we take this, we come down here. Take that, take this. And that will free us up some space. Hold your horses there, cowboy. It's okay. We will get to doing all that stuff that you want to do there in a second now. Alright, so if we move up, there we go. There's our 6th block. And now I have a feeling our guy's going to get a little bit fussy unless I give him time to go and fix up the ship like we've been meaning to. So, we'll set stuff down for now. Come back in. Pick up a smart crate or 2. Jettison a bottle of vodka. Or 4. And we'll let him get about repairing some of the stuff that we brought onto the ship. Because, frankly, there's a lot of parts out here right now, and we could use them all. Alright. So, let's hop in. We'll pick up some of the bigger high-ticket items. You see, it always pays to check the pants, because there's always some extra inventory in the pants. Can I fit? Yeah, I can fit the shoes and everything. This will all sell for a nice price. Let's check the bin. An environmental manual. We'll need that. That'll be useful. Let's see. We'll stick as much as we can in the hip pockets and the clip points. Actually, you know what? We're gonna leave the food behind because, like it said, intentionally poisoned. And we don't know what is poison and what's not. Okay, there's a vision here. I can see it. I don't know what it is, but I can see it. And it's going to net me just enough space so that way I can get everything I wanted on board this ship. So that way we're maximizing our profits here. So that's what it's about right now, is maximizing our profit margin. Oh, this one's not open. Ooh, a splint angle grinder friction welder. Not bad. So real quick, we'll change out our battery, our oxygen, and all of that. I guess the episode's going on a little longer than I thought. I just genuinely love everything there is to do with this game. It's just genuinely some of the most enjoyable fun that I've ever had to play, as far as, you know, a computer game goes. We'll unlock that PDA because it's always worth unlocking these things, even if it's just to rip the files off to sell the things. And we are in. PDA, have files. guess that probably has something to do with the big angry yellow triangle in the corner, but we aren't going to talk about that now. We'll just leave him be and pray it's not anything important. So we can throw the splint down there. Or actually, no. Well, yeah, there's nothing. Well, actually, splint, view, come down here. If I pick up the toothbrush, there we go, and now we can get us another crate from inside the ship. Now, admittedly, I do kind of want to expand out our storage, so I could be very tempted to rip up some flooring right now and just get it all installed. Well, let's see what's on our Tetsudo Super Handy, because I forget. Just some literal garbage. So we'll dump that off, clear our screen, we'll queue up uninstall, tag it for only floor, and go nuts, Adam. Give me some floor tiles, because we're gonna have to expand out our ship just a little bit. Not too much, mind you. And as you can see, all floors tiles, as long as they are the same, brand and category, I guess, they all stack to 5, which is quite nice for organization purposes. One of my top 10 numbers, 5, definitely up there. I think next I would have to say would be 4, then maybe 3, then 9 of all ones. Not a big fan of 2. Not a big fan of 7 either. Now, you'll notice all throughout this episode, I use the pause a lot in this game. And there's a good explanation for that. Everything just really moves at a fast click in this game. If you are not paying attention when you have the super fast forward set on, you will make mistakes and you will miss stuff. So, real quick, let's look at our ship and the install. So, if we take our floor out and we look at our door, we have one block for the outside wall. This is the start of our door, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to another wall. So, if we look at the back wall of our ship, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We can fit ourselves a nice door right here, right behind the CO2 intake. Not bad. Or if we position it correctly, it can take this spot right here by the bathroom. So, let's go to install, hit the hole, hit the floor. And we're going to start from about here. So, that OK leg ship scan is the cops going and checking our transponder to make sure that we have a valid license. Now, sometimes the nosy punks will go and shoot us a message and hop on us and bust our hump so that way they can go and extort money out of us. Which happens a lot more than you would unfortunately think. Because, you're in space. What else are you going to do to make a quick buck aside from go and extort the local worker population? Actually, if we... That's just a t-shirt. Trying to remember if I have any extra space anywhere, so that way I can jam the cigarettes and stuff in. Alrighty, so we have now finished uninstalling all the floor. I want to say that I wanted to get uninstalled off of that ship, so now we'll get it plopped right onto ours. So as you can see, because our dear Captain Adam Walsh is a little bit on the older side, he is going to suffer from aches and pains just a little bit more than your average character would. That's fine. The Halversons can be low on powder, or on power. we'll be replacing them soon. Eating the trenchers. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. We don't want to be eating trenchers too often. It's not good food. It's like the, God, how do I put this? Starfield had its cube meal, where everything was a compressed, compacted cube that was made to taste like real food. In this game, it is trenchers, which is, well, whatever you are eating in that trenchers, it is not real food. It will never be real food. There is no way that it legally can qualify to be called food. However, we are in the far, far future. You can see how I might have spent, you know, so much time going and doing all the installation on the ship and the reorganizing and the hauling. I mean, so far I've spent almost 2 hours recording all of this, and, well, we aren't even halfway done yet. We have the floor down, we have the walls up, we have the airlock to make sure that we can, you know, not blast this section out into space and lose all of our atmosphere. But we still need to bring power in and get that all lined up, which means we're going to need to go over to our orders. I'm going to select conduit. Alrighty, so. We are really close to being done with what we are trying to achieve, at least for right now, with this ship. So empty out our dolly. Let's just head back up over here. We don't need any more conduit. We don't need any more flooring. Let's see. We need some wall, though. You know what? While we're at it, let's check out these racks. That sells for like $200. Why not? How much is a holding patch? $11. Not good enough. We'll take a battery. We'll take a box. Ammo casings. Well, I don't know if those are used for anything. Supposedly there's supposed to be crafting added to this game at some point. I don't know particularly when. But at some point it will be added, according to the roadmap. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens with that. So we've got our wall, let's take that power drill. Let's see, a few other things we'll take, like the anti-nausea medication. Let's close out everything except for the ground in our super heavy. Because we want to make sure that we are getting as much as we can. Let's take the power drill. It's a blister seal, we don't need those. Check the bin, nothing there. Check the rack. Nothing there. Because I do not plan on returning to the ship whatsoever now that we have discovered our little murder mystery, which we can turn in for some nice quick cash on OK-Leg. I mean, honestly, I don't even want to take that intake regulator anymore. They really just are not worth the effort, but we are going to take stuff like the motherboards. We'll take a regular air pump out. We can use this to recharge the air for our tanks, for our suit. So we'll keep it for that. So now that we have this open, we'll take this, we'll throw the power drills in, and there we go. Now we got 2 more spaces. You see why I like keeping stuff like that around. Let's see. It's a turbo air pump. Those are always worth taking. So what do we not need? Yeah, we'll just throw out the anti-nausea pills. We can buy more at OK Leg. They aren't that important. I just kind of wanted them. Now, it's a sad thing that we cannot take an exterior airlock. We don't need an O2 alarm. We have one of those. Eventually, we're going to try and set it up so that way every portion of the ship has its own unique... oh, what is the word? It's, atmosphere. That's the word. Alright, and then we're going to come back for all the flooring because, well, the box must grow, and as much as I would love to leave that floor behind, I look at it and I just can't help but hear in my head, it's free real estate. I guarantee you we have made back the $5,000 that we just spent getting the rights to rip this ship apart. F403, yeah, we'll take one of those. Because I want to make sure I'm taking as close to full stacks of everything that I can. And there we go. That'll do us a great deal of going and expanding the ship. As we say, the box must grow. Now, admittedly, this door is damaged, so before we leave, we are going to repair it because there's plenty of scrap parts on that ship that we just raided. If we walk through, we now have a nice and enclosed entire ship. Once more. So let's hop on the nav station. We'll queue back up for OK Leg, and I'll see you in the next video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching, and I genuinely appreciate you and your presence.